Cardano ecosystem gets a privacy boost as Midnight's Night goes live. The network uses a dual-state architecture that separates public and private data, while allowing controlled disclosure to auditors, institutions, or counterparties. Cardano's long-developing privacy architecture finally took a concrete step this week with the market debut of Midnight's Night token, which has doubled since launch. Night's first sessions were volatile, as expected for a new listing, but the token recovered sharply after its initial sell-off and moved toward a near $1 billion valuation as OKX, Bybit and MEXC open markets. A separate wave of activity came from users redeeming allocations from the so-called Glacier airdrop, the first of several release periods scheduled through 2026. As liquidity builds, Night's price action is likely to remain noisy, but the launch is ultimately less about the token and more about what Midnight is designed to become. Described as a partner chain, Midnight is input-outputs attempt to give Cardano a programmable privacy layer built around zero-knowledge proofs, or technology that allows the verification of information without fully revealing that information. Instead of adopting the fully anonymous designs associated with legacy privacy coins, the network uses a dual-state architecture that separates public and private data, while allowing controlled disclosure to auditors, institutions, or counterparties. In practice, that means Midnight keeps two parallel records. One that behaves like a normal public blockchain and another that stores encrypted data. Applications can choose which parts of a transaction are visible and which remain private, letting users prove what's necessary without exposing everything they do on-chain. It is a model aimed at real-world use cases, such as identity frameworks, regulated DeFi, enterprise data exchange, and financial products that cannot operate on fully transparent ledgers. Central to that design is Compact, a TypeScript-inspired smart contract language that forces developers to specify what remains private and what appears publicly on-chain. It is one of the first efforts to make ZK development accessible to non-cryptographers. A practical requirement if Midnight is to gain adoption beyond a niche user base. The chain's distribution structure is unconventional. Midnight launched with a cross-chain allocation model that distributes 100% of Night's 24 billion token supply across 8 major ecosystems, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, BNB Chain, and Cardano. That approach is intended to pull users from multiple chains into a shared privacy environment rather than isolating activity inside Cardano alone. Metrics that will matter include how much Cardano DeFi integrates privacy-enabled modes, how quickly bridge volume grows between Cardano and Midnight, whether developers adopt Compact for ZK-native applications, and how widely distributed Night remains over time. Cardano now enters 2026 with rising activity and a larger DeFi footprint. Midnight adds a missing component, a privacy and compliance layer that could shift how value moves across the ecosystem, making it one to watch for in the months to come.